All right, thank you very much for giving me a chance to present my research plan entitled Integrating ICT into EFL Learner Speaking Skill with the Restricted Facilities, which will be conducted in high school students. There are three topics that I'm going to explain in these occasions. The first one is context descriptions. The second one, the problems and the solutions that's possibly to be done. And then the third is project plan that I'm going to conduct. The first one is contact descriptions, and then we'll be explained about students' background, teachers' background, parents' background, and school background. Okay, let's look at the students' background, uh, in which I'm gonna conduct the research. Uh, Based on Bell 2016 Individual Errol 2019, that ICT has the potentials to change the learning environment since learning can take place anytime and anywhere. And because of that potentials, it can possibly give the positive effect to students. However, the students the students has some issues regarding that. The first one is they have restricted use of ICT or electronic devices because they mostly live in some dormitories and orphanage household, which they have the strict rules to use the ICTs, which has having the limited use of electronic devices, and then actually they have their own smartphone, but they have limited use, and then the storage is limited, and then the facilities of using it or using another ICT is limited too, because most of them live in dormitory, and then the urbanage regulations only allows them to use it in school activities, and the students are not allowed to use smartphone or cell phone in out of school activities. And besides, the students' English proficiency is low. Um, they are not brave enough to use their English. Let's see the teacher's background. As we know that teacher is one of crucial roles in succeeding learning activity. However, they have restriction in utilizing ICT in learning activities, including optimizing electronic devices that school have provide, or using applications that can give the positive effect to students, because when the teacher are going to use the applications, they have to think twice. Either the students can use it, or the students can download it or not. If the applications need to be downloaded or installed, it's gonna be difficult for the students to use. That's why it's quite difficult to teachers to decide what applications that they can use in teaching learning activities. Okay, the next one, let's look at the parents' background. As we know, the parents or family is a primary school of one of the educational centers, the family, the institutions, and the youth movement area, which stated by Ki Hajar Dewantara. However, the parents, either mother or father, work to fulfill their needs. Consequently, they cannot fully pay attention to student school progress, especially student English progress. And then they cannot give or provide sufficient devices such as smartphone, which has uh, internet data to support in learning activities. Okay, if you look at the school background, which school need to provide some facilities to succeed learning activities. because stated by Karim that the present school facilities is vital for teaching learning process. And this school has provided some facilities such as LED televisions in its class, and then a computer lab with some computers, and then provide internet connections too. However, if you look at the quantity of the students, the devices are still limited, either in number or in usage. And then, even though the school has provided the internet connections, but it's unstable if most of the students, most of the people at school use that internet connections. Okay, so from that context, there are some core problems, and then I'm gonna try to give the solutions on the problems. The first one, the problems that I think is important is um the lack of self-confidence and engagement in English activities, English class. The students are lack of self-confidence to practice their English, to use their English, and then because of that, their engagement in English class is limited or less too. And the second problem is they are having limited use of ICT. They're having limited opportunities in using ICTs because of limited situations that they have either in smartphone, internet connections, etc. Therefore, I'm gonna try to offer the solutions that I'm gonna try to conduct in my future research. The first is, I think, preparing simple education schemes that can be integrated with ICT is very important because it can give the good effect, and then it can make the atmosphere at school in a classroom good, such as showing the pictures, matching the games and quizzes, and presented with simple communications in English. The second solutions is, I think, optimizing the use of ICT at school is very important too, like using possible and relevant ICT, and then the applications that the students do not need to download and install, which can support speaking activities such as WhatsApp, Slide, Kahoot, or quizzes. WhatsApp is very common applications, and everybody use it, everybody download it. And then the third solutions that I'm gonna try to do is implementing genre-based approach. And from that, I'm gonna let the students try to speak up by reading aloud, memorizing, and presenting the sentence or presenting the discussion results simply. So from that activities, hopefully the students will engage, will build their bravery to be more brave, to be more confidence in practicing their English or in engaging with these English activities. So from that solutions, I'm gonna make the project plans using Django-based approach, and the lessons that I'm going to deliver and discuss is explanation text. Let's see, the meeting one will be about building knowledge of the field, and the learning objectives that it has is by the end of the meeting, the students are able to arrange the pictures and sentence about the water cycle and explain simply about rain process. And then the students are able to name of the water cycle phenomenon. And this activity will be conducted in the classroom that the students will use their own smartphone and access the school internet. If the students do not have a smartphone or cell phone, they can gather with someone who has. Okay, let's see the strategies. So the teacher will show random pictures on the projector, and then they will ask the students to arrange the pictures in the applications, which name learningapps.com. So the students will to correct older pictures before arranging the applications, and then arrange final pictures on the applications about water cycles, which will be used learning applications. Here is the appearance. Here is the activities. So before this, the teacher will give what is it? Will give the picture. Will show the pictures, and then use present a simple communications. And after that, the students will arrange. Okay, so after those activities, the teacher will show the pictures and ask the names, the pictures of water cycles, and the students match the word with the correct pictures and discuss with the students and then the teacher. And then after that, the teacher will show the randomized sentence which describe the order pictures of water cycles on the projector, and the students should match the sentence with the pictures on learning apps and discuss together, either with the students and the teacher. And then they write them on the paper. They write the result of the activities of matching words and matching sentence on the paper. And then after that, they will the teacher will let the students to read the sentence in front of the classroom, and the teaching medias that will be used is a projector and laptop, and then worksheets, and then the worksheets of matching sentence with the pictures. Here is the look. So this is the worksheets that I'm going to deliver to the students, and then the students have to name some phenomena in the water cycle, and then after that they have to match the pictures with the sentences. Okay, and then the next activity is building knowledge of the field. Is teacher will give the quiz as the review about the name of each process in water cycle, and the students will answer that quiz orally. So the teacher will show the picture on the screen and of the TV or projector. So in order to minimize the use of internet data or smartphone. All right, so in meeting two will be about modeling of the text. It has the objective that by the end of the meeting, the students are able to know the structures of the explanation text from paragraph arrangement, and then they are able to choose the correct verb, and then they are able to make the present tense, and then they are able to arrange the pictures and the sentence about water cycle and explain simply about the rain process. And then the water cycle it will use the different pictures of water cycle, and then the students are able to name the water cycle phenomenon with the different pictures. Okay, so it's the same conducted in the classroom, and then using smartphone that and using school internet. And then for those who doesn't have smartphone, can gather with someone who has. All right, so for the first activities is the teacher will give the quiz, and then the students have to answer quiz early through quizzes. Here is some questions in the quizzes, and then the time for answering the quiz is only 20 seconds. So the students need to answer correctly and quickly, and it's fun. And after that, the teacher will show the different pictures of the water cycle and ask the students to name the pictures of water cycle. And then the teacher will ask the student to describe the pictures in one sentence, the sentence that we practiced in the previous meeting. So the students are not allowed to see what is it? The worksheet first, yeah, to describe the pictures. Okay, so the media that will be used is projector and PowerPoint to minimize the use of smartphone, especially internet data. Okay, so after that, here is different pictures of water cycle phenomenon. but no names on it. The student have to name it. All right, so after that, after making some sentences regarding the pictures, the students will be memorizing the sentence, and then the students will tell the sentence without reading and written the sentence, without reading that sentences. And the teacher will show the pictures in sequence and ask the students to make the sentence about the pictures. All right, so here is the pictures same before. Okay, name the pictures and then making their own sentence of these pictures, memorizing and presenting the sentences. Okay, so after that activity, the students will be given the random paragraphs about water cycles, and then they need to arrange the paragraphs in a good order. And then discussing the correct order. And then after that, the students will be asked to present their arrangement result. And here is the activities. Okay, and then the next one is the teacher will give some questions regarding the informations in the previous activities, arrangement activities. And of course, the students have to answer it orally. Okay, so the worksheet can be shared on the Awake, and then this teacher will show it on the projector and then discuss. All right, so next one after that activities, the students are going to be given the explanations about explanation text, the purpose of the text, the generic structures of the text, and the social function of the text briefly. And the students have to listen and take some notes. And that explanations will be used PowerPoint slides and projector or TV screen. All right, so after that, using the text from arrangement activities, the students will be asked to work together and find out simple present tense and underline the verbs and auxiliary verb. And the text will be in Google Doc so that the students can underline the sentence. And also the teacher will use a projector to show the students' work. And then the students will present the result. Okay, and then next activity is the students will be asked to make simple present tense about water, sun, and rain. So using the word water, sun, and rain. Three sentences, any sentences. And then this activity will use Padlet. So the students can post their sentence and then another students can check. And after that, some students will present the sentence in front of the class. It can be reading or without reading, depends on the situations. All right, so after that, as the review, after that, the teacher will give the quiz about the present tense for the review for what is it for checking their understanding about present tense. And it will be in learning apps. So the media that will be used, in learning apps applications. And the students will answer quiz through learning apps applications. Okay, so meeting 3 will be about joint construction of the text, and by the end of the activity, the students are able to produce the expansion text about butterfly cycle collaboratively through group work activity. Okay, so here are some learning strategies that the students will be asked to make groups which consist of 3 students. and then the teacher will give random pictures of butterfly cycle. So that picture will be in the Google Doc or and showing on a projector or TV screen. All right, and then next activity is the students are going to be given the audio by butterfly cycles, and they have to name, listen the audio, arrange the pictures, and name it. Okay, so here is the examples of the pictures, but this is arranged, so I'm gonna make it random. Okay, and then after that, the students are going to be given the activities to create the sentence for one pictures of the butterfly cycles, and then the sentence will be created by the groups, at least based on numbers of the group members. If the group consists of 3 members, so at least they make 3 sentences for each member. One member, one sentence, 3 sentences. Because there are 4 pictures, so one member will be creating 2 sentences, or one rest sentence will be created together, and the teacher will guide the activities. And then these activities will be used Google Doc. So the students can create the text together, the sentence together based on the pictures. And then another group can revise. Teacher can revise, and another group can revise, and they can give the feedback or comments onto the other group. Okay, so this is the same pictures, and then after that, the teacher will ask the group to check the other group's work. So the sentences that has been created will be uploaded in a Padlet, and then our group can check the other group's result. Okay, so after making the sentence regarding the pictures, the group will create the sentence for opening and closing of the text. And then after writing the sentence for opening and conclusions or closing of the text, they will read the text and check together. And after that, compile a paragraph and post on a Padlet. So everyone can check that. Okay, so the last meeting is independent constructions of the text. And for the objectives that by the end of the activity, the students will be able to produce the explanation text simply. Okay, so the same activities will be conducted in the classroom, and the students will use smartphone, and then school internet access. And for those who doesn't have smartphone, can gather with someone who has. Okay, so the topic will be different about human life cycles. So the teacher will show the pictures about human life cycles, and then the student should answer the pictures together. So it will be presented the communications activities simply but communicatively, using laptop, projector, TV to show the pictures. Okay, so here's the pictures that will be shown. All right, so after that, the students will be given a draft of the text that which has the pictures, and the student have to write the text based on the draft. And after that, they have to post it on Padlet. They use Google Doc, and then they post on Padlet. Or maybe if it's not possible, they will write the text on a printed draft. So the teacher will provide the print draft, and then spread to the students, and then they write there. Okay, so here is examples of the worksheet, the draft with the pictures. Okay, and after that, After making some sentences regarding the pictures about human life cycle, the teacher will ask the student to check the other student's work, either using Google Docs and Padlet or printed draft, and put the comment on it. Okay, so after giving the comment and then giving the feedback to the other students or to teacher, the teacher will ask them to revise the text, and then the students have to revise the text based on the feedback. And after that, uh, the students will get the review, and the teacher will check the result of students' work using Google Padlet, a Google Doc, Padlet, or printed draft. And then the last activities is the teacher will recap the activities and do some reflections. And of course, students have to listen and respond to question and reflections activities. And then Q&A. If the students have some difficulties, or if the students want to ask they don't understand about the lessons or the activities, and then it will be used projector or TV screen. So that's all project plan that I'm going to deliver. I'm going to conduct in my research plan. Thank you very much. If there's questions, please do. Thank you.